kneaded, baked, and did all kinds of women's work.
One of the reasons I've been reporting these Islamic traditions is because they provide insight into Muhammad's character. They establish a pattern of behavior, a willingness to deceive. Specifically, they demonstrate that Muhammad was willing to pass himself off as an authority on godly and spiritual things, when he clearly was not. That means his claim to being the messenger of God is suspect. Therefore, so is the Quran and Islam. The second reason that I have shared so many of these with you is to demonstrate that Muhammad was incapable of innovative thought. Lacking creativity and godly inspiration, he corrupted the Bible and plagiarized the Talmud. In that regard, he and the fallen angel Halal bin Shakar, known in the West as Lucifer, had a great deal in common. Simply stated, Muhammad was not capable of inventing a religion. You will soon learn that the prophet actually stole the entirety of his religious scam that became Islam. Third, these twisted variants all serve a purpose. Muhammad used them to justify the inclusion of Qusay's pagan practices into Islam. They gave the 5 pillars, all of which were pagan, some semblance of monotheistic credibility. Time and again, Muhammad rewrote Jewish history to make Allah, Mecca, the Kaaba, Hajj, and himself seem worthy of veneration. He recast Adam, Noah, and Abraham as Muslim messengers, focused on Mecca. If Adam, Noah, and Abraham weren't Muslims, then the preponderance of the Quran was stolen, not revealed. There's no other explanation for Allah's dependence on the Bible and Talmud. So Muhammad must convince us that the Jewish patriarchs all worshipped Allah, revealed Quranic revelation, made journeys to Mecca, built the Kaaba, worshipped there, and performed a complex array of Islamic rituals. If he fails in this regard, if his revisionist stories aren't believable, then the Quran is a forgery, Islam is a counterfeit, and Muhammad is a complete fraud. That being the case, there is no justification for them to kill us over it. Finally, Muhammad corrupts the lives and words of Adam, Noah, Lot, and Abraham to excuse his pathetic existence. The Islamic Adam had a cavalry. He was a warrior and a tyrant just like Muhammad. Like the Islamic prophet, the Muslim Cain was guilty of incest. He was driven to murder and lust. The Islamic Noah wanted his people to be slaughtered for mocking him. The Islamic Abraham destroyed the small idols so that his people would turn to the largest one. Muhammad recast these men in his image. They were all embroiled in arguments with their peers that mirrored Muhammad's Meccan trials. In each case, Allah punished those who rejected the messenger, just as Muhammad claims he will torment those who deny him. With Muhammad's agenda in mind, let's march ahead.
Tabari. Seth stayed in Mecca performing the Hajj pilgrimage and the Lesser Umrah until he died. He added the scrolls revealed by Allah to those of his father Adam and acted in accordance with their contents. He built the Kaaba with stones and clay.
If the Kaaba gets one more builder, it's going to become the Tower of Babel. In the interim, we have scrolls of Babel.
The people of the Torah said Enoch was born to Jared. Allah granted him the gift of prophecy. He revealed 30 scrolls to him. He was the first after Adam to write and exert himself in Allah's cause. He was the first to cut and sew clothes. He was the first to lead some of Cain's descendants into captivity and to enslave them.
Not to be picky, but I thought that Eve was a stay-at-home mom. I suppose fighting made Enoch the first good Muslim, a devout religious lad following in the footsteps of Muhammad. Now we have 100 scrolls. How is it then that the first mentioned in the Quran were from Abraham and Moses, who have yet to be born? Quran 87:18 says,
This is surely in the earlier books, the books of Abraham and Moses.
The next hadith confirms the source of Muhammad's religious material.
Tabari. Someone among the people of the Torah said Methuselah was born to Enoch. He was the first to ride horses because he followed his father's prescribed practice with respect to the jihad.
How could Adam have established a cavalry, as an earlier hadith claimed, if he didn't ride, or if he didn't fight?
The people of the Torah say that Lamech was born to Methuselah, and that Lamech begot Noah.
But it is Muhammad who tells us in the Hadith that Noah's people were just like the Meccans of his day.
Noah would admonish his people, but they mocked him. Allah revealed that he had given Noah's people a postponement from punishment so that they might apologize. Noah's people worshipped idols, so Allah sent his punishment down upon them and annihilated them.
Everything Muhammad claimed happened to Noah actually happened to him. Starting with the 6th chapter of Prophet of Doom, we'll focus entirely on Muhammad's life. But between now and then, you should know that the Quran says it was Muhammad who
admonished his people, but they mocked him.
So
Allah revealed that he had given
the Meccans
a postponement from punishment so that they might apologize
to Muhammad. 30 times in the Quran and countless more in the Hadith, Muhammad replays this twisted variant of Noah. Each is designed to scare Meccans into submission. By remaking Noah in his image and recasting Meccans in the role of Noah's people, Muhammad was able to make his impotent and vicious God appear capable of serving his prophet's interests. This was an incredibly clever approach. Muhammad knew that his God wasn't real, and thus Allah was incapable of miracles. So by ascribing a prior miracle to him, his toothless tiger grew fangs. This next hadith forces us to make a choice. Either Noah was an Islamic prophet, or Islam is a lie.
Tabari. According to a report on the authority of early Muslim scholars, there were 10 generations between Adam and Noah. All of them were followers of Islam. Unbelief originated only in the generation to whom Noah was sent. Noah was the first prophet to be sent by Allah as a messenger to a people to warn them and call them to the recognition of the oneness of Allah. Some say that Noah's people committed wickedness, drinking wine, and letting their preoccupation with musical instruments divert them from submission to Allah.
If you are agonizing over whether Muhammad has told the truth, think about this. He said drinking wine was wicked, and yet the rivers of Allah's paradise flow with wine. Muhammad condemned those who listen to music, and yet, according to him, the angels sing.
The Quran reports that they had idols, for Allah says, speaking about Noah, "My Lord, they have been disobedient to me and have followed one whose property and children only add to his loss."
The real Noah never said such a thing. He wasn't interested in someone submitting to him. He had property and sons. When we reconcile why Muhammad put these awkward words into Noah's mouth, we discover that it was actually Islam's prophet who demanded obedience and was denied. It was Muhammad who had neither sons nor property. What's more, the official heir to the Kaaba, the property he coveted, had sons.
They have devised a major plot and said, "Don't give up your gods. Don't give up Wud, Suwa, and Nasr. They have led many astray."
This would become Quran 71:21. While Noah never plotted, Muhammad schemed against his own family for control of a similar list of false gods. Falsely projecting one's faults on an opponent is an effective and timeless political strategy. It's one Muhammad used to perfection. It's one of the Quran's least appealing and most repetitive themes. Fearing God's terror, however, is unique to Islam.
Tabari. Allah sent Noah to them to make them afraid of his awesome power and to warn them of his assault. Noah called upon them to act in accordance with the demands given by Allah to his messengers and revealed to him by the scrolls of Adam, Seth, and Enoch.
Like most Islamic traditions, this one was written to explain the Quran, to provide a sense of purpose and place to a book that lacks context, history, and chronology. As we dive into the surah for which it was written, notice the similarity between Muhammad's voice and Allah's.
Quran 71, verse 1. "Surely we sent Noah to this people, saying, 'Warn your people before there comes upon them a painful punishment.' He said, 'O my people, surely I am a warner to you, that you should fear him and obey me.'"
Why Muhammad had Noah say such things will become increasingly obvious. But before we leave this opening verse, I would like to point out one of the many differences between the Quran and the Bible. Biblical prophets told us to love and obey Yahweh, not themselves. Islam's prophet ordered Muslims to fear Allah and obey Muhammad.